So, in our previous video, we discussed about classes and objects. And in our today's video, we are going to discuss Python init method. So, let's save it first. Init method. Init method dot py. And then we're going to discuss what init method is all about. All right. So all classes have a built-in method called init, which is always executed when the class is being initiated. All right. So whenever you will initiate a class, the init method, which is a built-in method, the init method will also be called. Method will also be called. All right. So basically, the init method is used to assign values, used for assigning values to object properties or to perform operations to perform operations which are necessary when the object is being created. All right. So let's say create a class name. Let's take an example, a coding example. Let's create a class named person, and let's use the init method to assign values for name and age. So let's say I am creating a class person, and inside it I'll define an init method. Always remember that these are double underscores. All right. Init and self, I'll pass on the parameters name and age. So self is something which is a part of this init method function. Name and age are the parameters that I have passed on. So now I'll call it as self.name is equal to name. Whatever parameter is it will always be called with this. So, and then self.age is equal to age. Now I need to create an object. I'll create an object. You can create whatever object name you want to. I'll say P1 is equal to person. Person is my class name. Now I'll pass on the data, the values into it. So let's say Irum, and age I'll pass down as 20. All right. This is a random age. All right. And print P1 dot name. I'll print that out, P1 dot age, whatever my age is, whatever the age is, and save it, and I'll run this program. So the init method is called automatically every time the class is being used to create a new object. So let's say why use init method. Let's talk about it. Why use init? All right, here it is. Here we have got it. So without the init method, you would need to set properties manually for each object. All right. So let's take an example. So let's say if I create a class without init into it. So what would happen? So let's say class person, all right, and I pass it on, and now I'm saying P1 is equal to person, and P1 dot name is equal to era, P1 dot age is equal to 20, and now print it out. So I'll have to do everything manually. But with the print with the init method, I can easily do something like, let's say like this. All right. So I'll have to do it manually. So using the init, it makes it much easier. You can set initial values when creating the object. All right. So default values in init. So default values in init. So like you can set default values for or parameters in the init method. Let's say class person. I'm creating it. And I say define init and self. And now let's say name and age 20. So I have defined the values inside it. Okay. Self.name is equal to name. Self.age is equal to age. P1 is equal to person. P2 is equal to person. Let's say XYZ and age 20 again. And now let's print P1 dot name, P1 dot age. And now let's say print P2 dot name, P2 dot age. All right. So this is how values are passed down on, like this. Perfect. So you can also pass multiple parameters, like let's say multiple parameters inside it. So class person, now define init and self, name, age, city, country, like this, and then self dot name is equal to name, self dot age is equal to age, self dot city is equal to city, self dot country is equal to country, and now let's say P1 is equal to person, and I'll pass down some data, let's say London and United Kingdom, and I'll simply print it out. Print P1 dot name, print P1 dot age, print P1 dot city, print P1 dot country, like this. And I'll save it and I'll simply run it like this. And this is it. Perfect. So this is all about init method, and see you in the next video with another topic.